Hi guys, it's Kate again. Before we get into my main mini TBR, I wanted to discuss last month with you. So last month I had 5 books on my TBR. One of them was a rollover from March. I have read 3, DNF'd 1, and then the 5th one I am currently reading and will probably finish today. So I consider it a great success. I think I did a really good job getting through those. I read a lot of other really great books, and I wanted to show you my 2 favorite books from the month. The first one is The Very, Very Far North by Dan Burrell. I've showed this one in a video before when I first hauled it, and I actually read this aloud, and it is just the cutest thing. It has lessons on empathy, friendship, compromise, understanding differences, all sorts of wonderful things like that, but it never gets too preachy. It's just really cute and wholesome, and I absolutely love the illustrations. Here's the characters on the back. There's more characters, but the main character is Dwayne, and then his best friend Cece, the owl, and then Handsome the muskox. And there is a second book, so we hope to either find that on our thrifting adventures or buy a copy of that soon so we can continue the series. My other favorite book was one that was on my TBR, and that was Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Now, I was really nervous to read this. I'd heard that, oh, it's the worst book in the series or the weakest book in the series. I'd heard that it was, too emotionally devastating and I would, cry for days. You know, that's an exaggeration, but basically I heard a lot of stuff that made me afraid of reading it. So I read the first chapter, which was pretty dark, and then took kind of a week off from reading it. I just had other things I was reading, trying to get through. And then I got back into it, and once I started reading, I couldn't stop. And I absolutely loved it. All the pain this book puts you through is worth it for the ending. And it's just so beautifully symbolic. It's got a lot to say about love and freedom. And it's a great end to this series. I really loved it. I'm excited to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping now, and just see what those are like. So yeah, I'm really happy to have finished the Hunger Games trilogy. So now we get into my May mini TBR. And a couple of these are chosen specifically on theme for the month, and then a couple other of these are just buddy reads and just books I've been meaning to read. So the first one for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. And this one I've heard a lot of really good things about. It's very funny, it's very clever. Vera Wong is an icon. I have attempted a book by this author before and found it just not to my style. But what I've been hearing about Vera Wong's books is more in lines with what I like. So I'm really excited to try this. It also checks off, those extra challenges Goodreads does where you get those little virtual bookmarks. It checks off 2 of those bookmarks to read this. So that's another motivation there. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one and experience the wonderfulness that is Vera. And then it is also Jewish American Heritage Month. And I've had this book on my TBR for a little while now. This is A Sky Full of Song by Susan Lynn Meyer. And it won a Sidney and Taylor Award, which is an award for Jewish books specifically. A Jewish fiction, I believe. Anyways, it is about a Jewish girl who immigrates from Ukraine, I believe, to the American prairie. And just kind of what her life is like that. And I love how curly her hair is on the cover. That's so accurate. And I have always been looking for more Jewish stories that are either not about the Holocaust or not about biblical times, but just explore our whole history and the wonderfulness that is being Jewish. And so I'm really excited to read this one. I'm hoping it's as good as it looks. And yeah, I'm just reading it as a way to honor my heritage this month. And I'm really excited about it. Then we have a really hyped indie release for me. This is Unbanded by Hope Ann. I actually backed the Kickstarter last year, and my copy came this spring. And then I found out a friend of mine had also backed the Kickstarter. So I was like, hey, why don't we buddy read? So we're going to go ahead and buddy read this. It came with all this really cool merch. It's also just, no, hang on, I hit the camera. That's better. It's also just this really beautiful, well done hardcover. And I've read most of the books by this author before, and I just absolutely love her writing. So to have a full-length novel from her in the dystopian genre is just a dream come true. I cannot wait to read this. I'm really excited to read it with Virginia, and I think we're gonna enjoy it. And then the last book is one, I've been trying to get a copy of this for a while. I almost bought a copy at the used bookstore, but it was too expensive. I almost bought a copy at a book festival, but it was too expensive, like for the quality it was in. I tried to get it from my library. They only have the ebook. I forgot that and tried to get it from the library again. They still only have the ebook. So eventually I was like, you know what? I just need to buy this one. And it is Now and Not Yet by Ruth Chow Simons. The tagline is pressing in when you're waiting, wanting, and restless for more. And I have been in kind of a weird period of life for the last 6 months or so. I've been unemployed, just kind of trying to take steps forward, but also having to wait for some things. And that's not my favorite position to be in. And so I find myself really restless and just kind of questioning, like, why is my life like this right now? When is it going to change? And so this book looks like it'll be a great encouragement. I was flipping through it. It's so beautiful. I was flipping through it and I saw the chapter titles. And one of them was, where is it? Maybe it's later. Oh yeah. You don't have to be blooming to be growing. And that just, even just that chapter title hit me hard because I realized I'm like, I gotta be having like great, results, or I gotta be publishing, or I gotta, and this time is not about that. It's about growing. And so even though I can't see like what's happening from it, stuff is still happening. So even just that one chapter title from this book really affected me. And so I'm like, okay, this is going to be really good. So yeah, that's my April wrap up and my mini May TBR. I'm really excited to read through these books. I've got a lot of library books still that I'll continue to read, and I'm excited. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.